Hi friends, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. In today's video, we're going to review the BorntoSell Covered Call Screener, a tool that allows income investors to identify covered call opportunities in the market. Let's get started. Okay, key points with the BorntoSell scanner. You can scan for calls based on moneyness, upcoming earnings, and upcoming dividends. You can also scan for, there are some advanced criteria, but those are the three that I think are the most unique and most valuable and most applicable for a covered call screener. If you're looking for a covered call screener that really allows you to find the best opportunities out there, based on the most important variables, I think that's sort of what you're looking for, and this screener has that. It allows you to monitor your stock and options portfolios, complete with what-if scenarios. What if I or what if I close out my position today? If I let it go to expiration, how much time premium is left? Things like that. There's also a network effects thing going on with BorntoSell. You can see the top portfolios and watch picks of other members. Pricing, it's $60 per month, $150 per quarter, or $500 per year. In my personal recommendation, or my personal opinion, I think this is a pretty interesting product that has merits for some covered call investors, traders. But I think it's really most applicable for those who have a minimum of $10,000 to $15,000 that they can allocate towards covered call investing, and that they're also interested or willing in putting on 25 covered call trades over the course of a year. So if you're a buy and hold type of covered call person who's only using it for a few positions, this probably is too much overkill. It goes well beyond what you need. But if you want to be actively using covered calls for income gaining purposes, you really want to be diligent about it. You have $10,000 to $15,000. I would say you could probably get away with $10,000, but I really would prefer 15 or more. And you're willing to put on, about 2 trades a month. Then I think this product really has features that are applicable to you, that you'll value, that will save you time, and really help you find the best opportunities as the market evolves. It also comes with a 2-week free trial. Okay, so let's take a look at inside BorntoSell, what it looks like. Here I'm logged into my account, my free trial account. Summary page. I put on a couple positions that are hypothetical. One is in Apple and the other is in Franco-Nevada. You'll see a little more about those positions as we go through here. But basically, the summary screen shows you, how much your positions are worth, the time premium on the positions, the upside potential, what happens if you close out your position. This is an aggregate from a portfolio view. It also gives you an upcoming calendar. Options, there's a huge time component to options, so having a calendar here is pretty useful in my opinion. That's the summary screen. You can dig a little bit deeper when you click into positions here. You see the 2 positions I have. One is uncovered. As I mentioned, you can add in all your uncovered and covered positions as well. You may want to, depending on what's going on in the market, you may have an uncovered position and you're waiting to cover it based on other factors. When the moneyness of it is appropriate, when the option price falls, things like that. Okay, or when the option price rises as you're actually selling the option. Dashboard. This is basically just like the summary, but I think it's a much cleaner way of looking at things. Here you can see these bar charts. It really breaks down the position, how much is left based on the time premium, which is going to impact whether you want to roll over the option or not. How much potential premium is left, and complete with what-if scenarios where what if the stock price rises or falls, at what level do you break even, right? How much do you make if you currently close out the position, if you wait till expiration? A bunch of what-if scenarios here, down here in this area here. You can also sort by a variety of metrics. Cover Me explores, as I mentioned, I only have 2 positions on this hypothetical portfolio. The Cover Me tab here, Cover Me link up top here, relates to your uncovered positions. So it looks at your portfolio, it looks at the positions that you have that are not covered, and it tells you, explores options. Here are the options available for your uncovered positions. What's the moneyness? What's the potential return? Things like that. Roll Me is sort of on the flip side, the opposite. It shows your covered positions, and it gives you an idea of, as the option approaches expiration, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to, just hold on to it? Do you want to roll it over, look for another option? Things like that. And also, this gives you, complete with what-if scenarios down here. So really, all this information is communicated on the dashboard as well, but if you have a large portfolio with many positions, these 2 tabs sort of help you break it down based on your uncovered positions and the positions that need to be rolled over. The summary, of course, looks at everything, the whole account as one. There's also Diversify Me area here. It gives you an idea of how your positions are spread across various sectors. Pretty straightforward. In terms of the search features, so this is if I restore default settings, that's actually what it looks like. And these, like I mentioned, these are the three most important criteria, three key criteria: the moneyness of the option, the stock price, and the expiration date. There's also advanced filters that let you go based on valuation metrics, based on industries, ETFs, leverage ETFs, exclude certain symbols, etc. Here, you can, once you specify a few things, let's say you really want to focus on moneyness, you want to focus on options that are in the money as a way of gaining income. And here it screens accordingly. Moves pretty fast. You can also look for expiration dates. Whenever you see a next earnings date in red, that means the earnings is the earnings is before the expiration date of the option. Now, earnings, as you're probably familiar, introduce a lot of volatility in the market, so it introduces greater risk into the position. So that's why this is flagged as red. Personally, I'd be interested in only covered calls that do not have an earnings before the expiration. There's also ex-dividend date. This also, and you can we'll get into, actually let's go there now. Max protection allows you to, it's sort of like a built-in screener where it's really searching for options that have the most amount of moneyness and that give you thus the most downside protection in case the spot price of the option falls considerably. So that's sort of what the max protection screen does. Dividends, these are stocks that are issuing the dividend, or the ex-dividend date is after the option expiration. Excuse me, the ex-dividend date is before the option expiration. So it tells you what happens if you can basically earn a piece of dividend by owning this stock and participating in the covered call. You can also get, in addition to the income you get from writing the call, you're also getting dividend income. So we have a little bit more on dividend capture strategies on informed trades as well, but that's sort of what this tab does here. Earnings, like I mentioned, to me this is a pretty significant one. Allows you to filter out options that are looking for earnings before they expire, or that have earnings released before the option expires. Conversely, that's my risk-averse approach. A lot of people may actually want earnings to come out before the option, and they may, because that can introduce greater volatility, which can work both ways. It can be wonderful for you, or it can be not so great. And the top 10 tab here shows you what are the positions that the most subscribers on BorntoSell have, as well as what have they added to their watch list. So there's a network effect, there's a crowd intelligence component here, maybe a way of getting some ideas. One tab we accidentally skipped over here is the goal section. And this just allows you to say, you have, let's say you have $10,000 here and you want to make $500 a month, right? 500, which is pretty ambitious. No results match your criteria. All right, let's see, what if I make $250? How about that? There we go. Now we have some options available. And this is an idea of, if you're looking for some of the most lucrative, or if you have, as a lot of income investors, you want to make a certain amount, you want to do it in a conservative fashion, you want it to be consistent, this tool here can help you. Just a couple other features I want to touch on. Chaining, this allows you to identify options based on their expiration date. So let's say you want to look at all the options that are available for a given ticker. Let's say it's IBM. Okay, so now you see options, then you see based on their expiration date. You have options that expire in January, you have in October 16, September 2018. If you want to hold them on, if you have a position that you plan on holding for a while, chaining your options, buying options of different expiration dates and sort of chaining them together, may be a strategy of interest, and here's sort of a tool you can use for that. And of course, there's a watch list in case there are tickers you want to just keep an eye on that you don't have a position in. You don't have any equity positions or options positions, but you want to keep an eye out for them. You can add them to your watch list here. In the account section, you can also specify where you get alerts. So for instance, if you have a ticker on your watch list and you can also say, hey, if the moneyness of this option goes to 15%, goes to 10%, you can specify a threshold. It can clue you in that way. You can get an email alert that way. And that's sort of about it. There's a lot of features here to BorntoSell. My simple take on it is that it's a pretty interesting tool. I think it has valuable features, but you really have to have $10,000 to $15,000 capital. You really need to be willing to put on, or interested in putting on, about 25 trades a year, 2 trades per month, at least, I'd say. And you also need some fluency and familiarity with options products. They have a lot of tutorials here, but in my opinion, it really helps if you've already traded some options before and have a little bit more experience in that regard. If you have any questions, you can join us on informedtrades.com. Take care.